semi-state Earthbound when prosperity awaits you in the stars. Come to Halcyon, the only colony on the edge of the frontier, owned and operated by corporations.
Hawthorne should be close by. What in law's name? Is that him? Oh, that idiot. I told him to plant the beacon and move away, not stand there holding it.
The Outer Worlds. Now that trio of words could bring to mind many a name and many a divisive opinion. Oddly, for a game that seems to have every duck in every row that would guarantee success, and it did succeed, it seemed to get its fair share of criticism. Much of that criticism was due to it not quite being New Vegas 2, and nobody ever promised New Vegas 2. It's New Vegas-esque in the same way New Vegas shares a closer strand of DNA to Fallout 1 and 2 than it does 3, both tonally, narratively, and in design. Of course, those two games shared an engine and an identical look and feel for the most part, aside from finer details. Some stand on one side or the other, but they both succeed at bringing Fallout to a more modern world, and they both tackle it masterfully, even if I do prefer New Vegas for many personal taste reasons. The Outer Worlds is a Firefly meets Futurama mashup, thrown into a Bethesda-like Fallout skin, but from the New Vegas guys and gals, headlined by Tim Cain and Leonard Boyarsky, two big names behind Fallout 1 and many other great RPG titles. While at the same time, only a fraction of the developers behind New Vegas resided at the studio. The DNA is still intrinsically linked to Obsidian as a whole. I mean, they were founded by ex-Black Isle Studios members. I only stated this because of course it's not a copy and paste New Vegas clone, but it shares many elements of its DNA.
Basically it was a first-person RPG. With the, Fallout New Vegas kind of feel, I think was the main thing. The Fallout meets Firefly thing was floated around as well.
Tim Cain didn't even work on New Vegas, and Josh Sawyer was probably off doing Pillars of Eternity. Everyone complains about the lack of Chris Avalon, but he's involved in so many games and is all over the industry, who knows where he was at this time. When this game started development, he was writing for Prey 2017 and had started doing work for Dying Light 2. Tim and Leonard's passion project for the Outer Worlds is more than it gets credit for. It's captivating, it's funny, and it's everything you want in an RPG, boiled down into a smaller project that is only around 30 hours or so for me. It was just under 50 hours with DLC, so a similar length to my playthroughs of Prey 2017. That's not a bad thing. It's an easily consumable RPG with so much replayability, choice, and consequence to the world and its story. It has the same captivating atmosphere and characters that you love from Fallout and worlds that you can explore at your own pace. There's so much to find if you want to look. For an RPG, it's bite-sized, but that still means 30 plus hours, which is a good game length. It's much like VTMB in being this pseudo-immersive sim in ways mixed with a classic RPG. You can't shoot out a window and jump through it or stack boxes to reach locations, but you can find things to complete quests early or have multiple ways to approach situations and quests. If you're familiar with more recent Fallout games, it has that feel, but with the design principles of Fallout 1. The late-stage capitalist future dreamt up by Mr. House is a mighty coincidence. The aliens are all creatures, flora, and fauna. Though there's an extraterrestrial conspiracy, of course, it wouldn't be Fallout inspired without some references to aliens existing. It has the brutality you'd expect from Fallout or Wasteland and some crazy fun science weapons, guns, and melee weapons. I'd prefer this combat over Fallout 4. The space western aesthetic meets capitalist future much like Futurama makes the world so corrupt but so interesting. It's messed up and fascinating to see how these corporations affect the world around you and those who live within the Halcyon colony. The writing is so good and everything feels lived in and completely on the verge of collapse at the same time. Small things connect to bigger things you wouldn't expect, and it's entirely up to you to make all the connections.
We are talking about organic compounds once inhabited by a sentient mind. A person lasts only until the last synapse burns out, the last brainwave flickers into the void. What remains is a carcass moldering neath the soil. Decomposition is a natural process, essential to new life. All life feeds on other life.
It's not the best choice, it's Spacer's choice. I love those jingles and how everyone is required to say them when they live or work in these towns that the corporations own. So let's get down to brass tacks and dig into why I love this game, why I might even potentially love it more than Fallout New Vegas. That's a lot, I know, but I'll explain. I got sick recently, and I finally chose to jump back into Halcyon, and while I was stuck at home for a few days, I became glued to the Outer Worlds and its Halcyon colony. I fell head over heels for the companions, the quests, and the everything, really. I even decided to buy the DLC before I rolled credits, and they are both absolutely brilliant and add so much to the world. The Outer Worlds has a charm and sense of whimsy that somehow just works with the dystopian colony it all takes place in. The NPCs may not move much or have detailed lives they live when you're not around, but every small town or location you come across feels lived in, and it feels populated, or at least like it once was. It has the same sense of gravity to your actions we love in a good RPG. You can kill everyone and the game still comes to a conclusion. That includes killing Phineas Wells when given the chance, or just turning him in as soon as you land on the groundbreaker. I'll never be able to wrap my head around the idea of an industry built around innovation and pursuing more freedom actively fighting against freedom and innovation. Players actively complaining or refusing to even entertain small teams, small budgets, and innovative freedom-rich experiences like Outer Worlds or Weird West. All these games usually find their niche, but man, does the Outer Worlds have a weird reputation of being mediocre, and for what reason? It's not Fallout New Vegas 2? So? It's a bite-sized RPG? How is that a bad thing? That you want more of something? You think the writing is subjectively bad because you're not the target audience? Futurama humor and corporate capitalism and depressing topics masked by an awkward and cheesy sense of stupidity is the Outer Worlds all the way, and intentionally so. Yet the Outer Worlds has darker themes and quests than most of the recent Fallout games. There's a lot of depth in this mini RPG, even when many are saying that it lacks any and all depth. I just have to strongly disagree. It's so overlooked and underappreciated in my opinion in an industry looking for games beyond the norm. I can probably count on one hand how many games in the last 5+ years have done anything remotely along the same lines as the Outer Worlds has. Very few games have this level of freedom. The variety of ways everything can play out alone should fascinate you. All the play styles, how much they accounted for, Tim Cain, Leonard Boyarsky, and all the guys and gals that poured their hearts and souls out for this project deserve praise. A smaller scale, lower budget RPG passion project that was compared to the point that people probably felt guilty for getting any enjoyment out of it. In a world that wants to strip you of happiness and take away what you love, just hold it close to your heart and never let it go. Fight for the underdogs. And keep them alive and just hope they get to see more entries like this game luckily is getting with the Outer Worlds too. Hope that everyone else can see what you see, or maybe you can help them see. The Outer Worlds has so much to see and so much to do, it's all packed into a bite-sized format that the majority of people have been begging for. Go play the Outer Worlds and see what you're missing. See what kind of elements games should have and understand why much of old school RPG design needs to return in the mainstream. Thanks for stopping by on your journey through the Halcyon colony, and don't forget to grab a Rizzo's Spectrum vodka on the way out. See you all next time. The Forge is calling, and as you all know, I must answer. Thanks to Osh, Midnight Medium, and Melancholy Geek as always for being amazing people. See ya.
Never anger a man of the cloth.
It's not the best choice.